What's that?
What? Which one? There's two of them.
That one.
Ah. We're on video this time. Are you feeling vulnerable at all?
I am actually.
I'm feeling like you can see me. You can see what I'm doing.
Normally,
I can't pick my nose anymore.
just kind of.
No, I sit like this.
So strange.
Yeah, that's how we do it. You know, good posture for singers. You know, don't you? It's a singer's life. You've got to do it all, haven't you?
Episode 36.
We got that wrong on the last couple, didn't we?
Sorry about that.
Sorry, got the episode wrong. So definitely we've checked.
Yeah.
This time.
Problem with these is don't hit my chin.
Or do you feel the need to speak into it? Hi guys.
What the hell are we doing today?
Well, I'll tell you what we were doing just now.
Yeah.
We were filming the straw video. So we intend to film. It's remained as just intend at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
We intend to film a straw video.
The intention is there.
The intention has repeatedly been there,
Yeah.
hasn't it?
Yeah.
But the first time we tried to film it, what happened?
It was just logistics. So this is a straw video that it's going to be free for everyone to see because there's a lot of talk about the straw and how it helps singers at the moment, right? And and so we want to, like usual, bring the reality, bring the truths
For free.
And just stick it out there. It's like, this is why the straw works, how to get the best out of it, that kind of stuff. And we tried it down in London town. And again, the lighting went tits up. And then we just tried in the studio.
No, the lighting went... No, we tried it one time before that. And in here.
Oh, was it?
And
That's
went,
three?
Yeah, this is the third try.
Oh, right.
We tried it in here, lighting went tits up. We tried it at my house in London, and one of the lights malfunctioned. So, we just went had lunch, basically. And then we've just been in a studio, paid for, white screen, everything. Set it all up.
Horrendous.
What, 1 minute through the intro? Friggin' light exploded.
Explode like fireworks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, bang. And we're probably going to post the footage, aren't we?
Yeah, it'll be on Facebook. I mean, we looked at our reactions yet, but they're going to be crazy. So we're here. We've got an hour, so we're gonna slam out a. I don't know. What should we call? I think we should call these something different because they are on video for the first time.
Videocast.
First time.
Vodcast, I think they call it now, don't they? Is it a vodcast?
In between a cast.
Whatever. It's a video, yeah. So, and you can get the audio still on the podcast app as the normal way. So what we got in store?
So the title of this is going to be called "Are People Born to Sing?"
Wow.
And so we will riff around that to begin with because it's a question that comes up loads.
Are we going to do the normal thing of like no clear answer?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Vague.
Politics.
Yeah.
Sort of.
And then we are going to get into a listener question. And then we're just probably going to ramble about
ourselves.
Yeah, and how great we are.
Yeah.
So here we go. So are people born to sing? Go.
Oh, you hit me hard, didn't you, with the general question? But in all honesty, you see it a lot on Facebook. You will see it a lot on Facebook, right? Someone will post something up. I saw this recently. There was a lad playing something on the piano.
Yep.
I think it was a Michael Jackson song. It was like...
Oh, yeah, I know. I've seen it. Yeah.
It's incredible, isn't it? Yeah. Right? And don't get me wrong. I know it's just a turn of phrase. I know they're just saying some people just are born to do it, right?
Yeah.
But it fills me up with rage.
Yeah, go on then.
Because
let it go.
How can somebody be born to do that?
Mm.
How can somebody pop out, and be born to do that, right?
Mm.
It seems ridiculous if you just say that ability is born. But I think where we're going is we're going in the direction of, some people may be facilitated a little bit more than others to achieve things like that.
Yeah.
either in their bodies or in their environments. But I think the general gist is you can't do anything that you want. We are in limitations. However, you can achieve a hell of a lot with the right environment and a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
So people aren't born to sing.
Right. Nice answer.
They're not. You can do it. Depends which time, doesn't it?
Yeah. The answer is split into two, isn't it? Which is genetics, as you said, and the environment from anybody that's read the talent code, meaning the people around you, influences through life,
the things that spark it.
Yep.
You know, and some people might be like, you know, the spark is essentially that person who inspires you, right? Or maybe that situation. Sometimes it's actually a situation where, like, you know, say, not talking about music, but say you were some other kind of genius, but the spark for you, they were talking about the spark can sometimes be the death of someone in the family. You know, the fact that...
What, in terms of the family relationships?
Yeah, or even like it reminds some people that the death of a relationship, you are dead to me.
Yeah.
No, but you know, like so they looked into geniuses, or like, you know, like Abraham Lincoln and people like that. Lots of them had a parent die really young, and so the research is kind of suggesting that, you know, that could be the whole. It reminds you that life is not given to you. It can be taken away at any moment, you know, and sometimes that is enough of a spark for people to go, bloody hell, I'm going to take it by two hands. I'm not going to waste any more time with my life, or, you know, it sparks independence straight away.
Yep.
You know, the ability to actually do things for yourself from an early age.
Yep, like it. But that feeds into passion, doesn't it? And people actually say, this is what this is me, this is my life, this is what I was born to do. And again, it for me, it comes into investment of time, energy, and once you invest your time and energy into something, then you're going to want it to be your life, right?
Yeah,
but otherwise, you know, it could be quite depressing. But the spark, I think you could be passionate about anything if the spark is there.
Even murder.
Even murder. I mean, people are. Some people are. If the spark is there, if a few people come along and say, oh, you know what, you've got something there. Oh, have I? You know.
Yeah.
Reviews, then it starts going well. You start thinking, yeah, I feel good doing this. People are telling me it's going well. I've won a competition. Now this is what I was made to do, right?
Yeah.
Just beliefs.
100%.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you look back at when it started for you, but like I started singing because I actually liked it. You know, I didn't, at the age of whatever, I did not see myself as a professional superstar singer or whatever.
Yeah.
I just listened to Michael Jackson songs, and for some reason, they just panged me in the heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I know that about you. I know. Yeah, I know that's different. Then we're different in that way.
We're different. Are you more? Let's analyze this.
Yeah, and that's a problem. So yeah, no, it's totally, yeah, because, you know, I always say it. I think I'm mildly dead inside.
Yeah. Even more so now.
Yeah, it's getting worse.
But you are quite zen though.
Well,
is that the dead you're talking about? Just
yeah.
Like are you leveling out the playing field of emotion right now?
You can call it dead or balanced.
No peaks and troughs.
No,
let's stay straight.
Yeah, I don't want to get over emotional about this song because I'm going to come down from it at some point. You know, I'm going to get sad. If I'm happy, if I'm really happy today, I'm going to be sad tomorrow.
No, I'll tell you what, there are peaks and troughs for you.
Oh.
Caffeine.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, maybe I should address that
because he is happy as chips when he's had a cup of coffee, but give it 2 hours later, it is withdrawal, isn't it?
Yeah,
downward spiral. But yeah, so there's passion, but there's surroundings as well. Like if we look at how we progressed, right? You and I, not that we're in competition, but we certainly, I think, spurred each other on for years. For like 10 years in the band. You've got singers all around you who are brilliant, haven't you? Like the choir and everything. Yeah. And if you're sat there going, oh, I'm just a bit shit.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, everyone's so good. And then you look at the opportunities that are coming through for those people. And just, I don't know, it just looks really enjoyable. And for you, it's not very enjoyable.
Yeah.
It's either painful, you sound like crap, whatever. But all of those moments, certainly for me, spurred me on to go, right, voice lessons. Let's take those. Let's train twice a day in my van to and from Southampton. You know what I mean? And before you knew it, I was doing it 3 times a day, and it was like getting the gigs. Things were changing.
Yeah.
But if I was in isolation, without any guidance from a teacher, so I wouldn't know what to do to improve, and I wouldn't have singers around me who were like such a good level to make me go, right, I better step my game up, you know?
Yeah. But and that comes down to just motivations in general, doesn't it? What motivates the person? And then there's all the talk about intrinsic and extrinsic motivations. But I like that. I like the fact that once it's in you to do something, especially after teaching kids, you know, trying for them to take responsibility in what they do is massive. And so trying to get that internal motivation. So you're saying there, it was the fact that you felt a bit shit and that you wanted to get better. But that, I reckon that would have been in tandem with people saying that was really good. And there have been some things that you did yourself. Yeah, that's good, because you've got to have both, I think. Like these things that are going, I've got to keep doing this because it's kind of my life, and I want to fix this. It's going to drive you on to get better.
So say take one of those kids.
Yep.
Like, I can't remember her name, but she's amazing, sings musical theatre. Like, whatever.
Yep.
She's like 11 years old.
Right.
She's incredible,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
But what drove her on? What was her...
Me?
Can you all the credit. What do you think her intrinsic motivation was? Was it to impress the teacher, do you think?
It's interesting. No, a mixture.
Or is it for herself?
Massive mixture.
What?
But one of the biggest ones is that it felt good.
So she liked the feeling of it.
Yeah, because there's no doubt about it. And I say it to singers all the time. I say, you are doing something right now that some people will never experience in their lives. Right? Somebody that doesn't sing will never experience what it feels like. And it sounds a bit twee, but will never experience that feeling of the energy that's created when you sing a high C well. And some people never experience that. And so that point, she is feeling that constantly because she can sing really well.
Right.
You know? And it's like, and then I get told that she goes and
get positive feedback.
Yeah, she goes and busks, and everyone's like, she's 11 years old. And it's more so when you're that young, because
you don't
you're
expect
young.
that sound doesn't match that body, does it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's no doubt about it, there's definitely a level of accountability for me. We click, and I obviously created that in whatever way.
Do you do disappointed face?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, just like, you didn't practice Get Out, you.
I just hit him. I mean, yeah. Sorry. Edit. Edit.
So what we're talking about, just to rewind, is what was the question? Are people born to sing? No, yes. There's some genetics in there that will, and again, as we said when we went to the Wicked press night, and I said to you, didn't I? Because I haven't been really exposed to musical theatre land like that, where it's just like everyone is musical theatre.
Yes.
You know? And they've all got the same jaw. But, it's the makeup is there to create the right shapes to sing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And as some of the really interesting points genetically is about the makeup of the vocal cords. So, like you're talking about, aren't you? Like the structure of the shapes, mouth, throat, whatever,
Totally
can give you a special tone. Really, really, whatever that means.
And you might fall into a good feeling naturally.
Yes, right. And have a rich, lovely sound. Yeah, that gets compliments. However, the vocal cords can be genetically advantaged by how they're made. They weren't hammered together.
Created
by novice,
whoever you want.
Whatever you think is probable. But there's muscle, and then there's this layer over the top, which is jelly, called lamina propria, which is the thing that actually vibrates mostly when you sing. And if someone has been born with a thicker layer of that stuff, then they're able to withstand more singing, stronger singing, louder singing. This is the whole genetic thing. Like, can everybody sing as loud as each other? Can everyone generate certain sounds? And again, the truth is, actually, no. Some people can generate better, stronger, longer. However, we've discussed this for a while. Like a lot of singers aren't necessarily dabbling in that yet.
Right.
Not that many singers are training to the point where they're held back by their genetics.
And then there's truth in the people that say, I didn't have it. And even people in school where it's like, I didn't have the brain. Everything like that. The person who is not good enough is normally the one that does more to get there. So that's what we're talking about. It's like if we could join the two who were genetically made for this as well, and they had the mindset of the person that was kicked into the floor at school.
Yep.
Then bada bing bom bo, ready to go.
You got Michael Jackson, basically.
Michael Jackson.
Do you know what I mean? Like since he was, all of his brothers sang. All of his brothers played
environments.
Yeah, his dad was extremely pushy.
Yeah, forced into it.
Motivation. But he liked it. Let's face it, he was a bit odd. He was going to sit there for hours and make silly voices. He already said that he did.
Yeah.
You know, so he was experimental, and he was in the environment to do it. And then he got a shitload of training anyway to make sure he was even more healthy and expressive.
And he probably made in a good way as well.
Yeah, made in a good way. You know, he was a baritone, so he had an exceptional ability to get his voice high, which I think is partly, it's going to be partly genetic. But his environment was far and away the reason. And by the time he was, say, 10 years old, he would have toured like twice. He would have sang, I don't know how many hundreds or possibly thousands of gigs by the time he was 10. He's going to be good, right? He's going to be good by then, isn't he?
And he was.
God
bless his soul.
Yeah.
So I think that's covered that.
In a way.
Yeah.
Pretty vague. So, what is the answer? Don't say it. Don't say it. It's not the point, is it?
Let it go.
No, let it go. Right. It's not about being right. What's next?
We got a question from a listener. I'm going to read it. Okay, this is from Anon. Wants to remain Anon because
get in trouble.
Get in trouble with
he, she, who. It doesn't matter who it is, what they are.
Is it possible to get the first episodes of your podcast? As I'm late to the party, they only start from episode 14, I think, on iTunes. I'll be interested in hearing the others. I just want to leave that one in there because what's the deal with that? What happened?
Yeah, you couldn't get them for a while, admittedly, because of my fault with managing the platform. But now you can, so just go back on the podcast app, iTunes, whatever. You can find them right back to episode 1, or you can find them all on the website, thenakedvocalist.com.
Glad that clears up. Do you cover anything on your podcast about vibrato? Yes, is the answer to that. Any tips on getting that healthier and cleaner? I would like to try and get more of an open sound. I've been told I have a strong tongue root. Anyway, I could go on, but I won't. Do you have any YouTube or podcasts that cover this, or could you point me in the right direction, please? Now, I went back to Anon, and I said, there's a couple of episodes. Dr. Ingo Tietze talks about it.
Episode 18?
20?
Ian Davidson?
Oh, sorry, yeah. Tietze
is number 20.
Yeah, and Ian Davidson, 18. So we touch upon it there. But what is your vibe on this? Any tips to get healthier and cleaner? Yeah, so I think that the fact that she's... And actually, we've gone back and forth. So the assumption was right to begin with, in that the fact that she said healthier and cleaner means that it's about the fact that she's feeling something. She's feeling some tension, right?
And possibly hearing it as well.
Yeah. And it just goes hand in hand. And there's the old phrase of vibrato comes with balance, and vice versa. And by balance, we mean an efficient instrument, lining things up in the right place so we can... make
like balanced registers, right?
Yep.
Being able to go to the bottom to the top.
Yep.
From the bottom to the top and back down again. Yeah, I mean, not get me wrong, like breaks can be present and people can do vibrato, but often you see the absence of one of the registers.
Yep.
Often, not all the time, but can often go along with the absence of vibrato. So, like, say,
absolutely,
a girl who has no chest voice versus a guy who has no head voice. You can often see, like, the absence of vibrato. So having your whole voice, top and bottom, soft and loud, like you say, is almost like 101, right?
When you consider, and there's not very much research on vibrato at the moment, Dr. Ingo Tietze was very clear about that. But we've heard some. What myths have you heard about vibrato and how it's created?
You know what? A teacher said to me years ago, "You've got this terrible tonguey vibrato, right?
Very aggressive.
Right. Like I was going like I don't know what the hell she saw in my voice, right? But she said I had a tonguey vibrato.
Okay, so maybe a bit like.
Yeah, maybe that. However, the tongue does not create vibrato.
Right.
So out of the research, I mean, we went through some research with Karen Tietze, which is Ingo's daughter, last year. And vibrato is an oscillation in pitch. It's an oscillation between the muscles that get your voice to low pitches and the muscles that get your voice to high pitches. And that's how it's created. It's not created with the tongue. So this teacher was obsessing about my tongue to get that sorted. When in truth, it's like, it's not really the problem. It's like the tongue might express my vibrato. It's showing them that vibrato is happening, but it's not causing it. And from experience I've had with singers, it's not necessarily going to wreck my life either, or my voice.
No.
So like, just forget it. Let's go to something more important, more useful.
And the fact that you mentioned there about the balance between the muscles within the folds and gaining that balance, and it is that reflex that creates the natural vibrato, right?
A reflex loop, right?
Yeah.
Boing. It's just signals bouncing around the body at the right interval.
The fact that is the case and that's how it's created so far, then it makes total sense that, if somebody hasn't gained control of the low notes or high notes in the efficient way that we'd like, then vibrato isn't going to be
as easily achieved.
Right.
Yeah. And you know what I like actually from the research that we went through last year, there's some really interesting points about the size of the muscles for each muscle group, right? So the muscles that get you low are really thick.
Yep.
It's the body of the vocal cord, thyroarytenoid for your geekies out there, versus the muscles that raise pitch are actually quite much smaller.
Right.
Right. So they actually twitch, so they activate, turn on at different speeds, and the muscles that raise pitch can react much quicker than the muscles that lower pitch. So if someone's vibrato is very like that, and it's really slowed down, then we can sometimes deduce from that the thyroarytenoid, or the chest voice, or whatever you want to call it, is possibly too heavy.
Right.
Is out of control, because that muscle reacts slower in that whole thing, and it slows down. Versus if tension's a little bit high on the other side, on the muscles that raise pitch, then maybe we'll have more of a bleed. Maybe we'll have something a little bit too rapid that's not being balanced out by the muscles on the other side.
Yeah.
So for singers who are like going, I've got vibrato, but it sounds funny. Well, if it's too slow, maybe your voice is too heavy. And if it's too fast, then maybe your voice is too thin and not missing something from another register.
Absolutely. And then you run into this fork in the road where we use some tools to get vibrato going in some people that don't have it, right?
Yeah.
Because it is experience, and it does lead on. If you start, if there's zero vibrato and you start with like that, right?
Yeah, and that is a weird lesson situation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stop.
And was it the eyes as well?
Stop.
Was it the?
Yeah, you're just zoning out, mate.
But if we get that,
still going
like
when you started talking.
The tension that isn't required to sing, that is used to create that, could down the road lead into tension in the voice when we're trying to balance everything out. And in fact, so it's really important at some point that the forced or fake vibrato is really even if it comes back to, okay, 2 months down the road, you've done all this stuff, whether it's then it's okay, let's see if we can just sing some straight tones in a balanced manner, and then see if the reflex has started to take hold.
Yeah, you know, that actually, funny you say that, that's reminded me about the straight tones. Because when someone gets vibrato, sometimes they actually can't not do it.
Right, brilliant.
And it's like, I've had singers go, I don't even know what to do. I have no idea what to do.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because a reflex loop is not in your conscious control. You can sort of, don't get me wrong, you can interrupt vibrato like, nah, but you have to like put your mind on it. But if you just leave it alone, like your body can just kind of take care of it. Your nervous system can just take it on and do it for you. And some singers get absolutely plagued by that. And they don't make the distinction between, okay, if you really couldn't control vibrato, your speech would sound really quite funny anyway, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more tense to not do vibrato.
Yeah, so you're a liar, basically.
Yeah,
You're lying.
you're a liar. Yeah, but in the end, vibrato is, I think, it's crucial for your vocal health. It's a crucial tool to relax certain parts of the voice. However, musically, overused, it just ruins contemporary music.
We're looking at Anon's question, and for me, she has vibrato already. So there's two questions here. One for her is about balance. It's about the fact that it sounds like she's got a bit of tension there. The strong tongue root suggests one of these very vague descriptions of...
Or just a really odd compliment.
Yeah.
What a lovely tongue root you have.
Yeah.
It's very strong.
Yeah. If lovely was inserted before the words.
It's a whole nother sentence.
But, yeah, so tension, we said about creating more balance in the voice. If she's heavy, low notes are quite strong, and then finds it difficult to transition out of those, and it suggests that maybe she wants to do the standard, it's not rocket science, is it? The balancing act. It's let's expose ourselves to some easier high notes beforehand, work down, descend, experience those notes that are squeezed or a bit tense or have a bit of a tongue root on them.
And just balance out
in a different way. Yeah. Disassociate yourself with that feeling, and then just work into balance. And I'm sure Anon's vibrato will start to spin in a beautiful way, right? Then if there's people watching this that are actually after vibrato that are just like, that singing thing that I love and I can't do it, then right at the bottom, stages. The first stage, fingers under the rib cage. Demonstrate, please, beautifully.
You have to press hard, don't you?
Yeah.
And don't tense your abs,
because
you won't feel anything.
And consistency with that as well, because I've watched some people and they'd be like, can you mimic me? And they're like, because they're weirded out by it.
Yeah, trying to run.
Yeah.
It's like this. What the fuck are you doing?
What we're trying to do is to get the vocal folds and everything else to just get this motion of that. That's what we're trying to do, get that motion.
Have you breached the whole, have you touched them before? Have you gone for the...
Do you feel a bit weird about that sometimes?
Yeah, I've never done it. Because it's too like, do I touch this person?
Yeah. One way to get around that, just so you know, is I always... Can you put your hand on your stomach for me, please? And I punch the stomach.
Punch the stomach?
I mean, punch the hand through the... Punch the stomach
not
through
even
the...
a punch, just a push.
Push.
Yeah.
But through the hand.
Yeah, don't report.
So there's no skin on skin. I mean, not because they have a t-shirt on anyway, but whatever they choose to wear.
Why wouldn't they have a t-shirt on?
I mean, jumper. No, what I mean is, whatever they choose to wear on that particular day.
Can have an effect on the training methods. So, sorry, what's the other ones?
Next step is doing that without the hands. Okay,
that could happen like whenever, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Like, who knows when the voice is going to actually take on some of that swing, but it's just keep doing it every day, right?
But and if you've problems with that, then a good way to do it without the hands is to get the pant on.
Right.
The pant up.
Pants on. Get your pants on.
Get your t-shirt off, get your pants on. And if you're not wearing pants, you can get out.
Or stay. Depends, doesn't it? Anyway.
Does it depend?
I don't know. Weird. Even weirder.
And then it starts to work without the fingers. Okay, next stage, we're going hands, no hands. And then for me, the oscillation pitch. Just running through that a few times. And then for me, the last stage is, especially with kids, and we're all kids at heart. aren't we?
Especially you.
So trying to be a ghost slash overdone opera singer
Right.
works as an instruction. And clearly that's horrible, and sorry for any opera singers out there, like, you're just bashing me. I'm not.
It's mock opera,
Yeah.
right? Not real. The real stuff's great.
Let's be honest, that's what people, if you ask somebody to do opera, they go, right?
They'd slag you off anyway, contemporary singer, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
They always do.
Hate us,
So
don't they?
snobby.
That's what I've got.
Won a few fans there.
What have you got to add to that? Anything?
No, I love it. Yes, I'm more like the upset. Yours like a ghost. Mine's the I'm so upset. You know, that kind of thing, which can trick the body into the trembling voice. You know, like you're upset, and that can be a really good way of doing it. I like to approach the middle of the voice. You know, where actually you're going into a part of the voice where those two muscle groups might actually be cooperating.
Like it.
Too low, it might be too heavy and it's just strain. And too high, again, you can strain when you're high as well. So somewhere just in the lower middle is really good. But I like the toggle as like what you said, as a way of encouraging vibrato, but also as a way of changing its character.
Yep.
And changing its speed. You know, if it sounds really slow, some of those slow ones also sound flat because that oscillation in pitch is swinging far too low,
Right.
below the intended pitch. So we get that slightly flat sound. So to take a note like that might quite well be in someone's break, like a high note, and getting them to no, and training it like that, so that vibrato is trained to favour not the depth and the weight, but the lightness and the speed.
Find the posture of the pitch above.
Yes. Let the pitches above influence it. And let's face it, that's what all voice training's about for a lot of contemporary singers, is trying to balance the chest voice or the bottom voice, trying to balance that out by encouraging some more of the top. And that's just a more micro way of doing it, but intended for vibrato, and really useful for people who are belting all the time, because the voice can get heavy. Those muscles related to belting are also related to the low notes, so they can easily erase vibrato. So maybe a non could do with spending a bit of time like listening to vibrato and seeing if it takes that slow, flat character and then taking some of those oscillations.
Yeah, which is basically, as we say, just to resort to a non's question, because it was her question, so she deserves it. Balance. It sounds like she's doing some good stuff anyway, but just getting some more balance in the voice.
Yeah.
Really training the voice through good postures and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, do you know what? Maybe we'll look at tongue root tension for another episode.
Yeah.
Right, because it's quite a big subject, so it'd be quite interesting. Is that us finished?
Yeah, just very quickly, Snapchat. We're on Snapchat.
Farting around.
And
constantly.
as we said when we kicked it off on Snapchat, we didn't know what it was about to begin with. We got kind of forced into it.
Thought we were too old.
Then we had a plan of being like 50% educational, 50% faff.
Inspirational.
10% educational now.
That was a bad. I don't know. Is
Am I
that
selling
bad?
it?
Is that bad?
Am I selling it?
No, not at the moment. But what's the other 90? Let's get the full package.
Fun.
Fun.
Yeah, probably celebrity interviews, because we're just knocking around.
So we're going over 100% at the moment with the. So, but that's what we do. We give 110.
And then another 60% on.
170 we're on now.
Yeah.
60% on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't even think you have anything for that.
I'm just trying to give them more value.
Anyway, just get on there. It's Naked Vocalist on Snapchat. Come and join us. Send us a snap. Not the rude ones.
Yeah. And we do, don't we? We like to just sit together and look through people's snaps from time to time. Okay.
Big cuddies.
All right. We might do this again sometime with the old cams out.
The VOD.
See how it goes. But we look forward to hearing from you soon. Please send us some questions. There's been a few coming in over the past few weeks. We'd like some more, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Just real questions that we can get real with.
And don't be afraid to send us audio samples to highlight what you're talking about, because quite often we ask for that. right? So, you know, send us as much evidence as possible. And if you don't want us to play it on the radio, just not the radio, but on the radio, just let us know. We won't play it. We'll just say anon, no sound file. Anon.
You can smash us up through Snapchat. That's incredible. Email, you know, tmvquestions@gmail.com. You know, all the good ones. Right, see you later. I'm off.
All right,
Cheers.
see you later. Cheers, mate.